Welcome back, everybody, all you YouTubers out there. If you remember, on some previous videos, I had been working on my G0704 mill, and I do have a G0602 lathe, the 10x22 lathe that I've been working on for some projects, and I'm also going to use it to do the internal gear in here. I think I did show a previous image of it, but I've got the high gear is still good. But that's not what we're focusing on here. I can still use that the change gear in there, but on my first videos, I change out the plastic gear that comes off the motor here, or no, actually this one here, the bronze or brass gear, drive gear, that the transfer gears right here. I changed them to this. And I decided to change them all out again. I didn't show any of that video here. I did show some video stuff here in that process. What I did do is, that's the drive gear, 14 millimeter and 15 millimeter, because I have I think an updated unit that's after 2014 or whenever Grizzly did do the update. But this was about, was I about 1.5? I changed them out to do 1.1. So what I'm just going to show here is a little bit of footage of that. I haven't even tested them out. I just barely got them in there. I did some broaching, because when I got these gears, they didn't have that. All they had was little screws here on the side, little set screws. I did a little broach because it has a keyway in there, and I did want to kind of keep it along with that and not just use the set screws. So I did use these, and I can still use those. But this one here, I believe, was 20 millimeters tall. And these, if you look at them, these two are not the same height. What I put in here is the same height as this one, which is 18 millimeters. I was able to push it down enough, and I was able to take my spacer out. I have a spacer that I made to put that in here. Well, I found out with the new ones, I was able to go without that. Not that it really mattered, that worked just fine, but if I didn't have to put that in there, I don't have to put that in here. So, alright, let me get these out of the way. Let's just do some cutting here. I'm going to do a test, and we're going to kind of see, I can't remember what RPMs it goes to, but I have the motor, the main gears here, that, go and see the previous ones. I looked at them, there's like 20 to 37 or something like that. I believe what I have in here now is it 35 to 35? They fit in here. There's other ones, I can't remember what they were either, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio, except for they're slightly different. One's a 14 millimeter shaft, one's a 15 millimeter shaft to fit the two different shafts. But I have a 1-to-1 drive now. So instead of 2250 RPMs, it's going to spin faster. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this up here, make sure I can hold it pretty good. I'm just going to run a test spin here. I've already kind of done a test spin, but I'm going to show it here. I'm in high range on the change gear. All right, come up here because the light's getting at it. So that's... on my indicator, well, the readout, that's as slow as it goes in high speed now. It's supposed to be 50 to 1125 in low range, and 100, which I should be right now at 100 to 2250. Well, the slowest I go now is 276. I did run them in to try to break in the gears. I got them all greased up, and I had to do a little bit of adjustment. Those gears were a little bit different distance, so I actually had to slide this up more. It's not like a transmission where you have to follow the idlers and all how it goes. This has some adjustment on it to be able to slide the motor forward and back, so you can have a little bit of variance in there for that adjustability. It doesn't have to be exact like how they make transmissions on the casing and everything. So let's see what we got here. It was really noisy when I first put them in here, but they're doing a lot better now. I think I got kind of seated in a little bit better. And I run it for a while to really get them kind of broke in. And obviously, if you're familiar with this, if you have one, the dial actually comes here, you know, the markings here. I don't know if that was its intention, but I don't even think I'm about halfway yet. It'll stream about 4290. I think I had a little bit faster, but honestly, I really don't know what this thing's rated for. I'm sure it probably could still go faster than that, but I'm not going to run it that high because everybody says these bearings don't really go for more than 4,000 RPM, so I'll probably keep it somewhere. That seems about good. Now I'm just going to make a pass here. My glasses here. I don't have my shield here, so because I'm holding this, so I got make sure I got my safety glasses and stuff on. So let's see what we got going on here. This is my cell phone, so I don't want to get it right in the line and have stuff really flying at it. I think that when I was trying to indicate it, it should have been about a... Well, according to my my turn dial here, I put it on here for 20,000, so hopefully I'm pretty right on. But I did the faster gears because... I think this machine, it looks like it's doing really good. I want to be able to spin it faster because I think it would do a lot better. What I'm actually doing here, if you can't tell, if you're not sure what that is, that's a lathe bit. It's a lathe holder for high-speed steel. I'm trying to shave this down a little bit so it'll fit in my my lathe because it's just a little bit too tall. Ooh, look at that finish. It's actually some of the better finishes I've ever had. So I wanted to turn it faster because I think this one, if you're trying to, it's not a big knee mill with big heavy iron. Let me try to get this focused. I realize I'm having some issues here. Get some. I'm getting some shine off of it, but honestly, it just. Well, that was my goal. I wanted to be able to turn it fast because that was kind of, I think that's what everybody's doing with these. So this option, and I spent, what, like a few bucks each. I mean, I bought my last one, I can't remember. I didn't come here to do all the math and everything. I think I spent about 50 bucks to get all the gear replacements because I'm going to make metal ones here for the change gears inside. And then I did the replacements up here. With the shipping and everything, yeah, I ordered them out of China from someplace like that. And so I did the 1-to-1. So I was spending, you saw what I spent, about 3,200 RPM. I do have this one here. It's an R8 arbor to this. And these are supposed to be for pretty hardened material when I was working my other project there. So I think obviously going across this material is probably fairly soft steel, not something super hard what I was cutting before. But because the span is spinning up pretty fast, I think that's this machine like this, it'll do better. It'll take all these really smaller cuts on it instead of trying to lug it down. And I think with too much pushing up, too much binding and flex on it is not going to be the best for it. So that's why I did want to spin it faster. But I'm probably going to get working on some sort of housing or some sort of thing here because, you know, it was throwing a little bit of stuff at me. And I certainly don't want to do that. After a while, you know, I put gloves on. So I just get tired of the oily and chips and everything, and just easier cleanup, and just day in and day out. Of course, I'm not out here doing every bit because of my abilities and stuff. But I just don't want to have to be bathed in chips and metal slivers and oil and stuff so much anymore like my younger days. But I'm really happy with that. Let me actually get the brake on down here, or the stop for the, move it over here a little bit more. Let's take another cut. I think I might have to work on this a little bit. Hold on a second. I'm trying to hold this. Let me actually set you down. I'm okay with the holder here. I'll do like a 20, 30. Yeah, I think I got to work on this. Something's going on with this. I'm not sure what I was at when I'm at there. Now, that'd honestly be, I think, 40 thousandths, but it may not be. This thing is not. I was having some issues. I put this all back together, and I'm trying to do some things here, and it's pulling out and wiggling. I got it stopped up here, but see, I've got some play here, and it wasn't going right, wasn't twisting. But I put it on 60, so let's see how much it's cutting. I'm not sure if these ones are quieter than the other ones too. We're at 3351 there, RPMs. So, ease into it too. I moved it back and forth. It may not be anywhere on there. Alright, hold on. Let me get a reset. I'd use a digital readout, but it's battery, and I keep forgetting to shut off the battery, and I haven't used this for a while because I kept letting the battery die, so I don't have that going. And I think that's why, because of this, it gives me a little bit of something or other. So let me get back over here, see where I'm at. I got it loose. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on right here, because I was just spinning that thing and it just spins in there. I try to make everything a little bit tighter in here and make so it would not do this, and it looks like it is doing that. Alright, so I started from where it was. We should have a cut this time. Alright, 3350, huh? Use these bits, and they're just chewing through this like crazy. I don't think they're the most sharpest either, because I've already used them a bit. just the best anchored. So. Going back and making my marks on it. Yeah, except for when I did that going back. But yeah, that's way better. That's way nicer. I like going the higher RPM, at least for this. Of course, these are carbide, heavy, high hardness inserts. So yeah, it's gonna go through this pretty easy. Come on. Yeah, run my oily finger over it, but you gotta have a lot more. I shouldn't have. Well, yeah, we can. Oh no, I didn't want to take any more passes. I want to measure first, make sure. I know I got to go more than that. So I was just doing this do a little video thing here, but this is, I can feel it's like way smoother. Even though I can see those little tiger stripe looking things in there, it's so smooth, except for this little stuff on the edge here. But oh yeah, as far as cutting, just turning that faster, you know, it's just it's the size of the machine. The size of the machine is the size of the machine. It's only so rigid, so I wanted to be able to, you know, cut it at a faster speed. So it's taking all these little smaller cuts for something like this each time the tooth comes around on it for this, you know, and probably even faster for something even smaller. So that way it's not putting a lot of lugging force or twisting or binding in something that could change my cut. So I think this way is going to be a lot better. And I think that's what people do the modifications on them and stuff for. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got questions or comments, go ahead. Thank you.